What's up, guys? Farooqi Bros here, back with another stream. And today, for you guys, we're going to be talking about the summer box office of 2023 and the battle between three movies that are releasing in a 2-week stretch. So let's talk about Oppenheimer versus Barbie versus Mission Impossible. Now there's like a thing trending on social media the last few weeks, and it's Barbenheimer. It's like this concept, these two movies that could not be any closer to each other than any farther apart rather than they are right now. Completely different tones, completely different styles. Yet they're both made by these really prestigious filmmakers, and both have a very fervent fan base that are really interested. So there's been a big debate online that which one is going to be better. A lot of people are doing double features. A lot of people are planning to watch both back and forth, even changing outfits for each of them. So it's been trending. I thought it's a cool topic that the four of us can discuss. See, hey, what do we think will win this box office? And of course, Mission Impossible is coming out next week in the States. It's already out in some of the European countries, but it's coming out in the States next week. And there's been debate as well. I'm going to quickly give some backdrop where Tom Cruise has been really upset that Mission Impossible is only getting 1 week of IMAX releases because the second Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer comes out, he's owning the IMAX screens for the next month. And Barbie's getting the shortest end of the stick. It's getting no premium screens. So I heard some rumors that it's getting some Dolby screens, but no IMAX for Barbie at all. And, a lot of the modern box office, people want to see movies at the highest quality. And if they don't see the highest quality, then they just wait for streaming. So we're going to discuss all these different nuances and get right into it. But Dan, I'm going to start with you. Twofold question here. Number one, which of these three movies do you think will be the best? And number two, which will perform the best? So I'm going to get these are two prompts for you. Go for it.
So for me, I think initially I was like, yeah, Oppenheimer is like the clear cut. That's going to be the best. But now, not only just because of the Rotten Tomatoes score or whatnot, but just because of the type of movie it is, I feel like I'm going to come out from the three and say that I enjoyed Mission Impossible the most. Because the difference between, I know it's like Christopher Nolan, but the reason Oppenheimer might not be as like interesting just from like a story perspective is because it is rooted in history and based on real life, and you can't do any of like the type of like psychedelic or like thinking, thought-provoking, like what's happening or twisting timelines, stuff like that. Like the strange stuff that Christopher Nolan does in his movies, whether it's Inception or Interstellar, like there's like a fantastical element to it that makes it very fun for the audience and really gets you engaged in the movie. This is obviously based on real life, on real people. So it's going to be obviously incredibly made and incredibly filmed, but from like a story perspective as an audience member, I might not like find it as fun, quote unquote, as like a Mission Impossible that I might. So I think now seeing the three of them, I think I will enjoy Mission Impossible the most. And I think box office wise, I also think Mission Impossible do the best because of just the Tom Cruise effect. If Top Gun Maverick did not perform as well as it did, I might have said, yeah, it's going to be Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. Yeah, that's going to be the one that's going to get all the money, get all the box office. But I think just the pull that Tom Cruise has, and of course, Mission Impossible is like his most famous franchise. I think it's going to win, even though it's not going to have IMAX as much as Oppenheimer will. I think people will just run to see this movie over the other two.
I'm interested. I think I'm going to go to Samir next. I mean, the point I want to make out is that I want to discuss with you is like the Oppenheimer box office, because just yesterday, just for fun, I was like, let me go through Fandango and let me open up the IMAX screens for not just Mission Impossible, Oppenheimer, and just see. And this is really good for general movies because the theaters are back, man. I've been looking at the New York R main Lincoln Square Theater, the IMAX. Every single seat's taken. I mean, even the front row. I mean, people are going to be watching those atomic bombs in the front row of an IMAX screen in the biggest screen in America, in New York City. So I think it's good for movies in general that we have three mega hits coming out at the same time, because it shows this competitive nature. Everyone's going at each other. And then hopefully the best movie actually comes out in the end. Samir, I'm going to jump to you next. What do you make of these three movies? I know in the beginning, before trailer one, or maybe at trailer one, you were on the Barbie train, but I want to see after now trailer two, do you still think that's going to be probably one of the better movies, or were you always thinking maybe Oppenheimer might take it?
I think Oppenheimer will be the best movie out of the three in the end. Like best made. I just have faith in Christopher Nolan, even though I don't really like the historic aspect of the story that much. I do think Mission Impossible will be the most enjoyable and the most successful at the box office. I'm confident that it has the most mainstream appeal of the three, whereas Oppenheimer is kind of more niche, like Christopher Nolan. You have to be a fan of Christopher Nolan's to want to go watch it. If you're not into the history aspect of it, and unfortunately, Barbie I think will be the least of the will be the least successful and the least good, just because the second trailer didn't look as good, and I think it'll just be outdone by the other two.
With Barbie, my biggest fear, and you're right, came in the second trailer. I feel like all of their creativity, all of the great production design, all of what makes that movie look unique in this space, I have a fear it might all happen in the first act. And I think the second that Barbie enters the real world, the film might take a. I saw a clip on Twitter where she gets thrown into like a Ford car and driving away. It literally looks like a commercial for a car, and that's what I'm mostly worried about. Like all the thing that for me, what excited me about Barbie in general was production design. It looks different and it looks unique, so I was interested. But when you look at the movie from a plot perspective, it seemed like that's only the first maybe 15, 20 minutes. Then it's going to become like a regular movie, and maybe in the end they're going to figure something out. It has some Truman Show vibes, so I feel like there's a chance, but I don't know. I'll go next one before you, and you can kind of referee us and see which one of us had the best argument and where you agree or not. But I will go out on a limb and say, because you both said Mission Impossible performed the best, right? So I think Mission Impossible could have performed the best. And I know we shouldn't be doubting Tom Cruise because he tends to, have banger after banger. But I'm actually thinking Oppenheimer might just go through here. And the reason is how much is dominating the IMAX screens. I think for the month, every single IMAX screen is full. Yeah, it's a historical piece. Yeah, it's pretty much a biopic of this guy's life, and yeah, it's a rated R movie, so it does not. So you lost the children audience. But I think despite that, something tells me this might end up like catching this wave that Nolan tends to do, and just catches it and does very well at the box office. The only one that his only real flop was Tenet, and that's only because it came out in peak COVID, right? So that's what I think about it. In terms of the best movie. I might also say it's Oppenheimer. I think Mission Impossible has a great chance to be good. Some early critics' reactions came out, and most people have been pretty solid on it. I think Barbie will be the most socially, like social media wise, the most trending movie. I think people are gonna make the most memes about it. I think people are gonna discuss it the most. I wouldn't be so sure that in the first weekend between these two that Oppenheimer beats Barbie the first weekend. But I do think overall Oppenheimer will have the longer legs. I think Barbie might surprise everyone and win the first weekend just from the way W's marketing it, because I don't know if you guys have seen the marketing campaign. Yeah, Warner Brothers put like millions of dollars into making this movie like appeal to mass audiences. And even from a press screening perspective, they're preferring influencers, TikTokers, Instagram real people to see this movie before our people see it, like journalists. But I think they want a specific crowd, that Gen Z audience, And I feel like
sounds like the Flash to me.
But the Flash's marketing was just really.
I'm saying they did the same thing. They did the same thing screening wise.
Yeah, but I'm saying but in general, like you saw, like the way they're marketing with like different houses and weird things they're doing is very interesting. Either way, before I jump to Umar, the long story short is that Mission. It's like I feel like these three movies all speak to a different demographic. I think Mission Impossible is for the older crowd, the boomer generation, right? Like your older crowd, they're watching, not boomer, I don't mean by you, or by like the literal boomer generation, your Gen X of the world. Gen X is probably going to be watching this because they've watched 8 Mission Impossible movies. I think millennials are all pulling up for Oppenheimer. They are the Christopher Nolan generation. Nolan makes movies for millennials from the beginning. And I think Gen Z is watching Barbie. So this is literally Gen X versus millennial versus Gen Z. And we're going to see who comes out on top. So that's going to be interesting. And Umar, I'm going to close it with you. Of these 3 movies, which one will be the best and which one's going to perform the best?
I think your argument makes the most sense. I think that like Oppenheimer it'll be the best. It'll be the best quality wise, and I think that like Barbie might do better in the first week, but then after that I feel like Oppenheimer will just run through everything. And Christopher Nolan he's the best, right? He's like LeBron. So
I mean, Nolan, I would say he's a top 2 or 3 filmmaker working today. like in terms of like the modern filmmaker.
Just like LeBron's a top 2-3 player today.
pretty much, yeah. Though it is worth discussing that Oppenheimer is the only rated R movie of these three, so it's the only movie that's really going out there.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I think that like people are gonna go watch it no matter what. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I don't
it's
think
not
they
like
care.
rated R movies can't make $1 billion. Joker did it, so it's not like it's impossible. And I'm not sure any of these movies are making $1 billion. And my reason is literally just too competitive. You can't release Barbie and Oppenheimer the same week because they're both going to keep competing the whole way. And even though I think Oppenheimer's going to win, they're cannibalizing each other. Not everyone has the money to afford two movies in the same weekend or one every other weekend. Some people really are just once a month or once every few months. So you got to keep that in mind of how much people go to the movies. And this is a topic with Disney, with Elemental, and why it's performing pretty low. Like it's doing worse than Lightyear. And that's because people are trained to just wait for Disney Plus now. And I think these three movies, I mean, Christopher Nolan's been crazy about like, this is not going to a streaming service. We're going to keep this in theaters for like a year if we have to. And Tom Cruise is exactly the same. But for Barbie, one can say David Zaslav might be like, hey, if in a month it's not working out, put it on HBO Max. Like that's just how they think, So it's going to be interesting to see which one really takes over.
I think one last thing, you made a point about like the formats and the screening. I think the reason why Mission Impossible end up having the most like legs past Oppenheimer is because unlike Oppenheimer, I think Oppenheimer it's been pushed so much that the format of IMAX is so important for the movie that to see in that experience. But Mission Impossible to like the casual person, and like Smith said, it's the most like appealing to like the widest base of people. They don't have any problem seeing it in lower formats than IMAX, whether it's Dolby, RPX, or regular or whatnot. But I feel like people who want to see Oppenheimer will just keep waiting for IMAX and actually lessen the people who want to see the movie in any other format.
Samir, this comment by Rodney, I'm going to give it to you. I mean, Oppenheimer's almost 3 hours long. Do you think the scale of the movie, how long it's going to be, is going to impact how many people watch it? But I heard it's going to be pretty long too. There's been conflicting reports, but it's going to be hitting that 3 hour mark.
I don't think it'll change that much since it really is just for the niche, like Christopher Nolan's audience who watches those kinds of films. As far as like the mainstream appeal, I don't think it has as much as the other two. So I don't think the runtime is.
Do you think it's fair to say, and Smell, keep it? Do you think it's fair to say that Barbie's actually helping Oppenheimer's marketing a little bit, just because everyone's debating it? Like the Barbenheimer.
I think that Barbenheimer rivalry marketing thing is really helping Barbie more.
Oh, you think it's helping Barbie more? Okay.
Because I think people will try to get Barbie to win it.
Okay.
Like the day of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's affecting Oppenheimer as much. I feel like Nolan kind of hates it, probably.
Oh no, I'm sure Nolan hates it. I'm sure he hates it. I don't think Universal Studios minds though. I think they're like, all right, if it's like natural, we're not paying for it, and people are just talking about our movie. We'll be fine with it. It's interesting.
It's Gammy's generation. That's always.
Well, yeah, like I said, Gen Z. I mean, we have one Gen Zer in the group, and he's not choosing Barbie. But Fatma jumps in saying that Oppenheimer will be the best from performance, visuals, and technicalities, but Barbie and Mission Impossible are both in the same tier. They're probably entertaining, but not top tier. So, interesting point. So I'm going to move from one piece of cinema to another piece of cinema, and that's this new Barney movie coming out, because I think it's worth talking about it. From the four of us, if I'm not mistaken, me and Omar were both big on Barney as kids. I don't know if the rest of you guys were as much as we were, but this movie, and I'm going to put the screenshot up from Discussing Film. There's an article from the New Yorker, and Daniel Kaluuya's Barney movie is being described as surrealistic, similar to the work of Charlie Kaufman and Spike Jonze. The film is being sold as an A24 type. There'll really be a play for adults. So, I mean, this is the Barney movie we're getting. I mean, Zion, what do you think this movie is going to be like?
I'm telling you, this is like the best sound description I could ever think of for this movie. It only makes me more and more excited for it. And I know when it first came out, I was like, oh, Daniel Kaluuya is doing it, and it's going to be like more adult or darker. We kind of took it with a grain of salt. I mean, like, where can you go with it? Because you could go like the Christopher Robin route where, yeah, it's a little more like thematically deeper, but then it's still wholesome at its core. But now reading this description, I feel even more confident that it's going to be very good. I'm very excited for it.
I was thinking it's going to be somewhere in between Christopher Robin and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, the movie, right? But this looks darker than both of them. I don't think it's going to be a horror movie per se, but it looks like they're trying to do something very specific with the Barney character. And I don't know where to go with. Like, my only guess is that they're going to play – you got to play it straight or play it fantasy. So playing it straight would mean that, like, Barney is a fake character and they're just discussing, like, Barney's impact on, like, a youth who's grown up or something. Or they can go the way I want them to go, that Barney's completely real. And that's maybe a kid who believed in Barney or was with Barney as a kid, as an adult now sees Barney in like a dark alleyway and like he's psychologically losing his mind. Like that's the kind of
no, they'll probably go like a Neverland route where like once you're an adult you forget he existed, stuff like that.
That's what I want to see. Like how will adult reconnect with his childhood, and maybe Barney will help him through that. I don't know. There's a movie called Barney the movie when we were kids. And it kind of has that theme, but from a very child perspective, where like a kid feels like he's too adult to be with Barney, but then in the end he's like, "I'm with it." But this could be like that times a million. I don't know.
It's gonna be, bro. It's gonna be BVS.
It's like what Charles talking about. Yeah, I don't know. Bro,
it's gonna be like Samir's favorite movie, bro. What do you think?
Bro, Usman, read this description, bro. Look at this, bro. So it's gonna be different. I'm telling you.
No, I'm like if you think about it, Barney's kind of like a freaky guy. Like you don't want to see him in dark alley.
He's scary. There's no doubt about it.
Especially if they use like an original design,
No, they can make this movie hella scary. I'm telling you. But Umar, you were the other Barney fan in the room outside of me when we were children. So what is this? Is this gonna ruin the legacy of the character?
Yeah. They're gonna make him do things that you shouldn't do. The purists like Samir are gonna be like, "Oh, he shouldn't kill. He's gonna be killing everybody," and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be top tier. In fact, it might even be better than all the other 3 movies we just talked about. It's gonna be up there. I'm telling you.
I'm hoping this gets like a dark film festival,
and we're gonna watch it over and over and over again.
I mean, I'll be seated. Let's be honest. But Samir, will you be?
It'll be like Barney is afraid,
Barney's afraid. I don't want to see that, bro. I want to see nothing like that. But will you be seated?
Of course, I want to see him cook. Let him cook.
I mean, yeah, he could cook. Yeah,
because there's a lot of places you can take it.
That's what I mean.
It actually is like
the possibilities are endless.
Exactly.
Would you prefer they went the serious route where it's like Barney's a fake character? Maybe it's a movie about the suit guy who plays Barney in the suit and how he's psychologically damaged by wearing the costume.
No. We don't want to see that. We
want to see
Barney actually go through it.
I don't want it to be like, yo, he's real, and then at the end he's like, oh, it's all in your mind or something like that. Something weird like that. I don't want that.
Who would voice Barney? Would they bring the original guy back?
Isn't the original guy?
That actually is a very good question.
No, he's around.
I don't think he would work. He has to be like a regular guy.
Barney got like a billionaire now, like he's hella rich from like residuals.
Yeah, he's rich because of poor working conditions.
No, you're thinking about someone else. You're thinking about
someone else. Okay.
Yeah, the actual Barney guy, he's still doing his thing. He's not. I mean, there's no Barney show anymore, but he's made his money. I don't know.
They gotta bring him back. They gotta bring him back, bro. They don't have to bring him back, but he has to have one line. In the
thing is, I would still be upset if they do it really realistic, where it's like about the guy who played Barney, or it's like a documentary about the Barney show and its impact on people, or like some kid who went crazy after seeing Barney. I don't want to see that. I want to see Barney as an actual character, like magical, like do your thing, I think that would be the way. But I don't know. I would have preferred if it wasn't A20. I mean, I don't know. I'm going different direction. Because I think the safest movie would have been the Christopher Robin route. Like, just that same movie, just with Barney. But they're not doing that based on this description. This description sounds like they're making some kind of, I don't even know. Like, if they're quoting Charlie Kaufman, I mean, I don't know where they're going with this. I mean, Zion, what do you want to see with this movie?
I mean, it is unclear. Like you said, I think the voice thing, you're right. Like, you can't have him sounding like the same kid character that'll kind of like pull you out of the movie. Or it'll seem funnier when it's supposed to seem serious, I think it's scarier. I kind of don't know how they could possibly have him like on screen.
I mean, you put him in the costume. I think that's the most scary. It's like no CGI.
He's just there the same way. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna feel weird.
But you also want him to be magical. So what do you mean no CGI? What are you talking about? Magical.
I mean, like magical. I mean, Barney himself cannot be CGI. He has to be like how he was in the show, like a puppet guy. Like
that's for sure. Yeah,
he can't be a CGI man. Otherwise, it would look weird. He has to look like what he was, and he has to freak. It has to be a little hard because you have to freak out. Like, what are you looking at here?
I want to be like the guy's like living his life, but then like from a distance in the crowd, he sees Barney standing there, or like on the side, sees Barney behind the corner, and he's like going crazy, I want something
like a
that.
clown. Like a clown.
And then it'd be like a conspiracy that they're just a crazy guy and Barney's through the whole time,
Let me tell you how much DC impacts these
What are you
people.
guys talking about?
This guy Schroz he's so desperate for a Superman movie that he wants Barney to be like a freakish Superman Bizarro type thing. And Zion hasn't seen the Joker in so long that he wants to seem like the Joker.
What if I want Barney to pull up in his like Barney mobile with like huge guns and like ram through a guy's car, exploding in a million pieces? Not my Barney.
It kind of sounds like that Nope
Hashtag my
subplot
bar.
where
Yeah.
This guy's muted. He doesn't even know.
Let me put a quote from Daniel Kaluuya from the New Yorker, and I'll just react to the quote live, okay? Barney was a ubiquitous figure in many of our childhoods. Then he disappeared in the shadows, left misunderstood. I kid you not. This is the quote.
Barney's coming back for revenge,
Yo,
Yo, I'm telling you, this director,
it's
something
about to be
happened to him.
fire, bro. I mean,
This guy went through it. He went
this
through
is
it. Something
first-
happened to him.
This is his first directed movie because obviously he's big actor. We know he was in Black Panther. He's in Get Out. He played Hobie Brown in Spider-Verse. So he does his acting work, and obviously he just was in Nope as the main actor. But I think this is his first directing role, taking on taking on Barney is like, I don't know. All I know is this quote sounds fire. Samir, what do you think?
it kind of sounds like that Nope subplot where they're doing the TV show with the chimp, and then where they're showing clips of the show kind of with the filter, and then at the end it's like revealed that the chimp went crazy or whatever. It kind of sounds like that, and then there's like no record of the show. Current record.
Sounds hella scary.
That's
That would be
kind of what
so
it sounds like
good.
to me.
That
So-
would be so good.
Another
Right.
thing I was wondering to myself, but I just fact checked while you guys were talking. I was wondering like who has the rights to Barney? Like, can they actually show Barney, or can they make it like conceptual Barney? But I can confirm that Mattel, who owns Barney, the same way they own Barbie, is officially licensing the character for this movie, which means yes, the character with all of his songs, all of his voice work, it's all here. Like he'll be singing "I Love You." Like we're there. We're getting a different type of Barney. Before I thought they have the rights or not, because different broadcasting companies, different people have the rights to Barney. But I can confirm after reading this article that this movie has all the rights. They can do whatever they want. So it could be cinema. I think it's coming out 2024. I hope it gets a secret like film festival. Maybe a New York Film Festival to show it off. I'll go crazy. But it's Dune 2 doesn't stand a chance. But either way, that's what I think about that movie. But yeah,
It's gonna be go, bro. It's gonna be go.
it could be good. Yeah, it could be good. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
No, I didn't say good. I said go. It might be the greatest of all time.
Bro's hyping this up like Wemby, bro.
Oh my!
You don't know.
I'm talking about that guy, bro.
All right. Next topic, and this is a topic that I have to like apologize on camera because I was doubting the show for 2 years straight. I was ripping it apart. I was roasting it. Everything I heard about it, I was like, this is the worst thing. Superman fans are in the mud. But after watching the first 2 episodes of My Adventures with Superman, I gotta say, I take it back. I was left surprised. I thought this show was gonna be 2 packs of ass, but it turns out it was pretty good. 2 packs. It was pretty good overall. I think I like the showing anime style. We've never really seen a Superman anime before. Full of like, it's literally they have a Sailor Moon transformation sequence. I'm like, this is fire. It's very much a comedy. It's a workplace comedy, which is Umer's favorite type of comedy. And they do interesting things with the character. It's very wholesome, very down to earth, very like The Office, but with Superman. But I will admit, it feels fresh. It feels unique. The animation, yes, sometimes can get a little bit like Invincible, which is not necessarily my favorite style of animation. But when they stay as anime as possible, I really like it. So I like the way they introduce like Deathstroke and Livewire, and like the way they, I don't know, the story they're trying to tell sounds interesting. So I think it's good, but it could be my Superman bias. So Zion, check me on this. Am I just going into La La Land, or do I have something here?
Tell the truth.
I think it was good. I only saw the first episode, but for the first episode, yeah, it did feel more like comedic and lighthearted. I know a lot of the cultists will be up in arms, but especially because the first scene he saves a cat out of a tree, I'm like, yeah, they're gonna hate this. But I feel like this is actually the best insight into what James Gunn is probably gonna do with the Superman. Not like the technological or like the anime type wise, because I know they made it a little more different, like the way he transforms and like the the technology around this Kryptonian stuff.
But
But
it's very different.
I think just the way he acts and like the way the characters around him are and how they act towards him, I think that dynamic, it will work if that's what James Gunn does in live action. And I think it is a good change of pace from the much more classic version of these characters of like the dynamic between Lois and Clark or even Jimmy. Like there's a little more of a personal aspect surrounding the characters even before like the workplace stuff. So I think that will add into like just the story overall and like the feeling you get of the show and its characters.
I think you made a good point saying that this is the closest thing we might get to James Gunn Superman. Because it does feel like this is the kind of writing we'll see from the movie. But that being said, what I like the most is not even like the jokes. I think the jokes are like they're hit or miss. But I like the stylistic approach. Like the way Superman activates his powers is like completely out of like Dragon Ball Z. Like his eyes light up and the hair goes crazy and then just transforms into Superman. The costume just comes out of nowhere. I'm like, he's Superman now, I guess. Like it's different. It's fresh. So I think it works, you know. I don't think it's going to be as good as, let's say, the Bruce Timm and Matt Reeves Batman cartoon that's coming out next year, but I think it's serviceable. Like it'll get us through, you know, us Superman fans, because we don't have much to go off of. Umar, I don't think you've seen it, but have you seen the trailer?
I saw the trailer. Yeah, I saw the trailer. It's not for me.
I mean, just for kids, but it's a good Superman. You know, we haven't had a Superman cartoon in 30 years. So at least we have one now. We've had 20 Batman cartoons, but 0 Superman cartoons. So I'll take it. Samir, what about you? I mean, I don't think you've seen it either because, you know, you're knee deep in episode 1000 of, you know, One Piece. Maybe on episode 1200. I don't know. But if you had time to watch it, do you think it would have been good?
I've seen maybe 3 clips of it. It looked a lot like Invincible, like the animation.
Yeah, it is.
And one of the clips I saw didn't look that good, just because what they were teasing. Like, I don't know if I should spoil it.
Just say it. Yeah, it's out.
Yeah.
I saw like some Suicide Squad scene of it.
Yeah.
They were teasing it, and I thought that was kind of whack. Just because Suicide Squad is whack overall. But the Sailor Moon transition for the suit, I guess that's something. Like that.
The opening is good too.
I didn't expect them to go that way. So
I like the opening sequence also. Yeah, the opening sequence is good. Yeah, I mean, where the show's going, you said you don't like Superman.
I saw that clip.
Yeah, you don't like Superman villain, Smear. So why do you have a problem with Deathstroke being like the main villain for Superman right now so far?
Deathstroke is the main villain. I don't even know.
I don't know.
He's kind of the villain. No. They always do this in every show. He's definitely not the actual villain. You know, like
he's like the current
throwaway villain where you think he's the big bad, but really there's something even bigger. Young Justice.
I mean, they showed Amanda Waller standing. They showed Amanda Waller standing behind Deathstroke. So like maybe they're all in cahoots, you know, like Task Force X versus Superman. Like the idea of like Superman's here now and everyone's freaking out. Like, what does that mean? This is his first time appearing to this.
So it's like the game. So they basically, the same game they're trying to release. It's like the game.
I don't know. It's like it just
they never ever get Superman right, man.
It's just an intro to Superman. Like he's here for the first time, and how will the world react to Superman in the world? You know?
Oh wow, I've never heard that before.
There's not many Superman stories you could do. Young Superman stories have to be like he's an alien. How are people gonna know who he is? He doesn't know who he is.
Come on, something fresh, bro. You could do it. Yeah, put your mind to it.
Oh, it's just a cartoon.
But yeah, it's a cartoon.
Either way, so Samir, One Piece is coming out. I heard Gear 5. Are you excited for that?
I hear they outsourced the animation to Warner Brothers or something, so they're really going all out with the animation. I still have maybe 500-ish episodes to catch up by end of July, beginning of August for the episode. I think it'll break the internet.
I think it's gonna break the internet too, from what I've been reading. But that's no doubt about it. Also, have you seen the Suicide Squad anime coming out from Wit Studios? Like the studio that does the original 3 seasons of Attack on Titan is making a full Suicide Squad anime, like their own thing, going crazy with it. Did you see the trailer for that? Did you guys like it? I
just saw some of the images. I didn't see the trailer.
I only saw the image of the Joker design for the anime, which
yeah.
I thought was okay, even though he's got the mouth
inside of the drawn-on mouth over his mouth.
But they can make that work since it's just anime.
Yeah. Let's go quick look at the comments. This was one saying, can someone tell me why Christopher, and I've heard how you pronounce him is Killian, actually, not Cillian.
Yeah.
So Cillian Murphy, haven't taken a pic with Barbie in front of the poster. So if you haven't noticed, a little trend going on where Margot Robbie and Gerwig took a selfie in front of the Oppenheimer poster, and the Barbie poster, and then Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie took a picture with the other two movies as well. So now the next thing is, will Nolan do it? But like Samir said, I think Nolan despises everything that's happening socially around the movie. So I doubt he'll be taking a selfie. Though, if he wants to be like a fun guy, he could do it. Like he could play like the guy, the grumpy man who takes his job seriously, who just takes a selfie because he has to. Even Tom Cruise did, and he's also grumpy cinema man too. So
Yeah, if they do it where they're actually so serious and not smiling, then it'll be funny.
Yeah,
They'll play into that, you know.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy deadpan stay with Barbie. That's what I need.
The best thing is all on Twitter that they're releasing so many promotional images for Barbie, stuff like that. But Oppenheimer is just one image of Cillian Murphy every time, a different pose, you know, like
it's just this every single time.
It's just a different picture of him just like angry or pissed off.
All right, so let's
that's all they need. That's all they need, bro.
So true.
All right. So let's finish off with two quick little like fun topics. The first one, our food topic. We'll go around them quickly. Two have to go forever. You know what I mean? Let me move this banner away. Two have to go forever. So what are we thinking here? You know,
Cake and soda for me. It's obvious. I don't eat that stuff like that. So, but the other stuff I need in my life. What do you think?
Zane, what about you?
For me, it would be I don't know. French fries and chips are both equally. I can give them up, so I don't know. I'd say chocolate and French fries. I mean, not chocolate, cake and French fries. I'll give cake and French fries. Yeah.
Yeah. Me personally,
you can't give them Coke. Coke is the worst.
It's the only drink on there, so I'm not gonna drink. And I don't drink coffee. I don't drink anything else. I drink soda sometimes, so I won't. I'm gonna give that up, but I hate French fries more, so I'll give that up instead.
Of these, I'm giving up chips and cookies. Not a big chips guy. Not a big cookies guy. Cookies I like, but actually no, I could give up cake too. Cake or cookies. Yeah. This chocolate is versatile. You can do so many things with it.
Yeah, chocolate is like a lot of different kinds of chocolate.
Samir, what about you?
I'd also go with chips and cookies. Chips were a lock for.
You feel like chips are a lock. Out
of everything on the board, chips are lowest of the low.
Chips are bad, but then I remember that the only thing I eat in the theater is chips. So I'm like, all right, for that alone, I can't give it up.
And then Robotic Uzi 1X says ice cream and chocolate easy. And then Fatma jumps in saying cookies and cake. So it's interesting. What's the best though? I feel like the burger is the best. You can't beat a burger.
No, it's not. Pizza's the best by far. Not even close.
No, burger.
I can give a burger forever, but pizza, I like pizza.
Okay, so would you, if you have to give up a burger or pizza, which one?
I'm giving a pizza.
I'm
a New Yorker.
That's right. Nothing like a burger, bro.
Burger's a burger.
But pizza's pizza.
So now Umar's also sent me something to throw out there as a second topic, and that's going to be to choose one starting five between Jordan's and Shaq's all-time starting five. This is each of their all-time starting fives. Which team? Game 7. It's Game 7 for the championship. Who are you taking to take? Which team is going to take you to the finish line?
It's kind of obvious.
It is kind of obvious. Actually, no, it's not obvious because the two weak links are Allen Iverson and James Worthy.
So true.
I was gonna say the 2 weak links are.
And the biggest wild card is actually Shaq. Shaq in Lakers is actually unstoppable, and Hakeem, like, he's quick, but defensively he can't stop this Shaq. He can stop Orlando Shaq, he cannot stop Lakers Shaq.
Yeah, but keep in mind,
I think Shaq's starting five will win.
It's also Lakers LeBron.
So yeah, are we taking it literally? If you're taking it literally, then we're taking number 8 Kobe and we're taking number 23 LeBron from the Lakers, which is not number 6 LeBron, 23 LeBron. So I guess we'll take it. Let's go with his championship year, 2020 championship. So
he was still a monster in that year.
No, I forgot.
He's
Lakers LeBron, I don't know anymore.
Remember, James Worthy also has a Finals MVP. Like he wasn't a scrub.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but on Twitter, a lot of people keep putting up like the '90s era, like different clips and stuff. And to be honest, it was pretty bad. Like if the clips are just...
he saw Michael Jordan's hezzy, and he's like, if Kyrie Irving did that, they would be like on the floor, like crying, you know. If Kyrie's bag existed in the '90s, it'd be unfair.
Kyrie is the
He
deepest
would
back.
have averaged like 50, bro. He would have averaged like 50 points a game.
Samir, what about you? Which starting five are you going with? I mean, I don't think any of us have actually answered yet, but which starting five do you think is the best?
Probably Shaq's. Probably. Because I take Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, and Shaq over like.
Yeah. I mean, let's go matchup by
His
matchup.
Magic, Jordan, and Bird are pretty good.
Yeah, that
Magic would
three is like
eat,
the best of the era.
Magic would eat, bro.
Oh, of course. So
Magic would cook.
Magic versus
In fact-
Allen Iverson.
In fact,
Magic
in an
versus-
act,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I'll say Magic versus AI. I'm taking Magic. Jordan versus 8 Kobe. I'm taking Jordan. Jordan versus Bird. I'm taking Jordan. LeBron versus Worthy. I'll still take LeBron even if it's older LeBron. And yeah, if this was any other Shaq, I would have chosen Hakeem because Hakeem has beaten Shaq in the finals twice in a row. But I would still say Shaq in LA was just something else. So that means 3 out of the 5 I picked Shaq's team, and 2 out of the 5 was the other team.
in an actual game, okay. Unfortunately, I just realized that Allen Iverson's on the court, and he literally won't be able to guard anybody. Like, he can't guard Magic. He can't guard if they switch. He can't guard any of them. So in an actual game, like if they were to actually play a game, they could literally just.
Well,
go
from a
at him.
spacing perspective, actually,
whoever
Jordan's-
whoever he's on can just attack.
Well, I prefer Jordan's team from a spacing perspective also because you had Bird at the wing, Magic's running point, Jordan's at the elbow, Worthy has a shot, and Hakeem can do multiple things. But I don't know. Now it's time to choose because we're losing our audience. You got to choose one. So Zion, who are you choosing?
I will choose Shaq's starting five.
I will also choose Shaq's. Samir, you chose Shaq's, and Omar, what are you choosing?
To be different, I'll choose Jordan's because I feel like in an actual game, yeah, the Allen Iverson.
Listen, if it was like Anthony
gonna hurt-
Davis,
it's gonna hurt them,
then
bro.
I choose the other team.
What I'm
But
going
you
to say is
can't-
that
the Shaq effect is just something else.
when we
All
started,
right, switch Jordan for someone else. Put Durant instead of Jordan. Now you choose.
I would still,
Then Jordan's team would win.
no, I would still pick. I think
I'm picking Shaq still.
I think Jordan. I think Kevin Durant's better than Larry Bird. Like no joke.
Yeah, he's a better player, but they're
Okay,
both
that's
just
the
gonna
matchup,
be. They're both gonna be
This guy
different to shooting, and honestly, they're no better than each other.
This guy heard one quote from freaking whoever it was that said Larry Bird can't play him.
No, I believe Larry Bird can play. He's better than Luka, but I'm saying that he's not KD.
He might not be. Unfortunately.
All right,
No,
let's see.
shot wise, Larry Bird won 3 championships, and Kevin Durant need to join a 73-9 team to win even one. So like, don't underestimate Larry Bird.
But
He's
He's a better player. He's a better player.
Because a
though.
3-time champion, Larry Bird is better than Luka.
yeah, of course he is. That's just
What's the
obvious.
bar, bro?
No. The reason I'm saying the bar is because
He's
Dennis
another white
Rodman.
guy. He's like, yeah.
No. Because Dennis Rodman compared Luka specifically to Larry Bird. So I'm saying I disagree with Dennis Rodman's take.
The players today are more skilled, and it's not even a question.
Not
Like Luka
necessarily.
Doncic is way
They're
more
more
skilled than-
athletic, but they're not more skilled. Skill is different. I don't know.
Luka Doncic is a better
Luka
passer,
is not
a
athletic.
better rebounder, and Luka's not athletic. Just smarter. He's smarter than all the other players.
Didn't he miss the playoffs this year?
He was playing also.
There you go.
That's,
Is he that good?
his team is not like, bro.
He had
His
Kyrie.
team, Kyrie isn't that great.
You won one
Kyrie
Lakers.
got
You
the
won.
deepest bag in the NBA.
Because with LeBron,
See
he's
that,
very
yeah?
good. You know it.
All right, let me see this. So, Robotic Uzi 1X is saying Jordan team is better. Hakeem is locking up Shaq, which is not true, but it's okay. There's no shooting on Shaq's team, which is accurate, I would say, except for Jordan and AI. Yeah, no. Actually, AI can't shoot either. He has a good point.
Kobe and Jordan. That's it. Yeah, that's the main.
Yeah,
shooter.
Kobe number 8 Kobe. He was all athleticism. He was okay shooter.
That's true, but he's not Afro. You know,
He's not Afro Kobe. That's true.
he's tail
Who's
ending.
guarding Magic.
That's true. Size wise, you got it on them because
I mean, I'll put Kobe on Magic, and then I would force AI to guard Jordan,
that's true. That could work. Yeah.
which has
That's
happened in the
better.
past. They've had battles in the past. Like, it hasn't happened.
You remember one
Very
time we
older
crossed
Jordan.
over?
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, I was with Jordan, but still. All right, so what do you guys think about the box office war between Oppenheimer, Barbie, and Mission Impossible? Let us know in the comments below and join the debate. From myself, from Zayan, from Umar, and from Samir, we're the Farooqi Bros, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.